Well, here we go on a tour of the course website as well as a tour of the course itself. So I'm about to present the kind of information that I would at the very beginning of a class where I review the syllabus with you. Only I'm going to go even further by reviewing with you how everything is going to be presented within the course website. And in the process, I'm going to be talking about some really important aspects of how the class operates. And so I have a lot to say, and I don't want this video to be too long, so buckle up. I'm going to go quickly, and you might have to end up watching this whole video more than once because there's a lot of really important information here. So here I am on the home page, and this is where I will be posting announcements at least at the beginning of every week and sometimes multiple times during the week. It may or may not start with a video, but this one certainly does. And that will be found on the course website, and you can always come back to the home page by clicking on the home button in the top menu. So now I'm going to move over to the syllabus menu option, and you are on the page, the website course tour page right now. I don't want to click that in my video because then I would be taken to a page of the video that I'm actually making while I'm giving this tour. And that would be a whole inception issue, and you might end up with smoke coming out of your computer or maybe even your ears. So I can't touch that one. But let me just go to the general information about the class. This is sort of the kind of stuff that would be on the front page of the course syllabus. There's a picture of me, hello. There's my contact information, at least email and office phone number. Office hours are only by appointment, and I can be available by phone or computer video if you want to meet synchronously, and I'll make arrangements for whatever time works for you. I have a link to my Zoom room. You can just click on that, and I'll be waiting for you if we have made prior arrangements. You should know by now that there's one inexpensive course text, the Daniel Willingham text, and you should hopefully have it by now because you have a lot of reading to do this first week. It's the most reading that you'll have in a compressed time this semester. I've got an information about an overview of the class, and I'll let you read through all of that. I have a description here about the assignments and the assessments. And so it's good to just stop here for a second and just sort of talk about this. I've got 4 assessments, one at the end of each of the first 4 weeks of this class. They're worth 30 points each, and you can drop the lowest score of the 4. So there will be a total of 90 points for the 3 assessments that are kept. I've got a course project that you will be building throughout the semester, and it's actually worth 60 points. At the time of this video, it says 40, but that's a typo. I need to change that to 60. So there are 4 parts to the project, and you're going to just build this project as you go throughout the semester, and that will start at the beginning of week 2. So you've got 4 assessments. 3 will count for grading, the top 3. You've got 1 project assignment, and then you also have some reflections over the course text reading assignments, and that's worth 30 points. And again, at the time of this video, it says 20, but that will be fixed before we move forward. As far as the grading goes, I list them all out here in terms of points. So currently, at the beginning of the class, it's worth 180 points. And I grade on the plus and minus scale, and so I list out the percentages here. I don't list the points, how many points you need to earn, because it's possible that the point values might change throughout the semester, but these percentages will remain the same. And this is a graduate class, so we have A's, B's, C's, and failure is anything below 50%. So if you have any questions about the grading scale, please don't hesitate to ask me. All grades will be accessible via the D2L site. I have the due date and late work policy here. Everything has to be submitted no later than the last day of submissions, which is the day before the final day of class. July 26th. There is not a final exam. There's 4 course assessments, and then the project and the reading, the text assignments. I have everything on a calendar page, and I'll click on that in just a minute, and I'll show you that. As far as attendance goes, this is completely asynchronous. We'll never have any course meetings face-to-face or online in a video unless you want to have an office hour or something. And I have information about students with disabilities, so if you have an accommodation, please contact me. I will review the files for my students, but from CAS, but please contact me. This is so important for you to get the support you need to be successful in this class, and I need to know that up front, okay? So that is a little bit about the general information. The goals and objectives of the class are listed on this page of the syllabus. And what's really important to know about this is that anything that's in italicized font is not going to be assessed on the end of the week assessments. So that's really important because I structure all the course information and all the presentations based on what I want you to learn how to do, and I list all those out, but you will not be responsible for being assessed over anything that's italicized. So this is a really important document to have at your disposal. So that's listed again on the syllabus side of things. Going to the calendar, this calendar may be updated, excuse me, throughout the semester, or I should say the coming month. It lists the 5 weeks of the summer course and what's due at the end of each week. So that's all listed out here, and you might want to print this page out if you need to. I've got a little bit of information about graduate student expectations and how they're different from undergraduates, so you can read through that. I've got some information about me, about the instructor, if you want to learn a little bit more about me. I have my current vita, or my resume. It's fairly current, a couple years old, but that's pretty good for somebody my age. And I also talk a little bit about some of the things that I actively advocate for now in my life. This is fairly new for me to communicate some of the causes that I find really important. But as you know, in education especially, the voices of those who are suppressing diversity, equity, and inclusion are very loud right now. And so I think it takes the voices of people who believe in the support, who believe in supporting all, to make their voices heard as well. So now I am trying to be more active about that. And I think it's important for everybody, for educators to do that. And you might be saying or thinking, yeah, but it's a toxic environment for being an advocate for the rights of individuals. And I say, hey, it's pretty important. And the fact that people are paying attention and noticing makes our voices louder. So that's a little bit about me. Now, if you want the entire syllabus in a document for yourself, all that information, you can click on the download syllabus link on this menu too. Please note though that the calendar may change throughout the semester. So if you do download the calendar and even print it off, it's possible that things might change. If it does, I'll change the update date here, and I'll email you, of course. Now, once we get underway, all of the work or all the expectations for the week are going to be listed under the weekly work menu option. And so right now you'll notice I just have week 1 because that's as far as I've gotten as of when this video was being made. That's not really true. I've got most of the course mapped out. I just don't have it all on my website yet. And this will walk you through all of the things that you need to experience as you go through week 1. And so one of the most important pages in each of the weeks is the assignment page. And that includes some information about what the assignments are, and then a clear list of everything that is due this week. And it takes you it provides you with links to everything. And I'll go over some of these right now with you because they're really important. But Just know that the assignments page for each week tells you exactly what you need to do in order to be successful and learn the things that I hope that you learn in the class. So the weekly work menu option is super important. I have the course project page is listed out here with each part of the project. These are the parts that are due at different times starting in week 2, but I've got the entire project listed out. If you're curious about what the expectation is for the project, it's right here. All the book reflections are going to be on this page, and these are the things that you will be responding to after you do the assigned readings. And I have them broken out by week, and most weeks there's only one question to answer, or one or two, but this week, week 1, you have a lot of reading assignments, the most by far. And so all of the questions you need to answer are listed on this page. I have a link to D2L here. If you click on that, it'll take you to the login page. We will be using D2L for 3 main things. One is you can monitor your grade easily in there. Your grade book is there. Number 2, to take the course assessments at the end of the first 4 weeks. Those are all administered through D2L. And finally, it's the place where you have your assignments folders where you need to submit your documents for that, and where you'll be able to receive feedback over the documents that you submit. So that's an important thing to note. We will be using D2L, but only for that. And finally, I have a resources tab, and there's some really important things in this tab. The first page is a listing of the course text and readings. I've got some other resources. You only have one assigned text, the Willingham book, but there are other resources that I reference throughout the semesters, and they're located here. Probably the most important resource is the course notes page. And in this page, I list the entire lecture notes are all here in single files. And it's rather lengthy because I provide information and examples for every single objective in the class. And I have it in 2 versions. One is a version that's a Word document where you can add to it if you watch the videos and I say something that helps clarify what's in the notes, and you might want to jot it down. You can do that. That's here. But if you want to print it off and study actual pieces of paper, you can have it printed well using the PDF version, and I have that as well. So that's really important. The other resources on the page are how to prepare for the first course exam. I'll reference that as we get closer to that. And finally, you will be responsible for writing your project. It's a short project. It's not very many pages, but I still want you to adhere to general APA formatting, and I'll talk about that when I talk about the project more. So that is it. That's the super quick tour of the course website and a little bit about the course. Your next option now, or your next step forward, is either continue to play around with some of these links or get started by clicking on the button at the bottom of this first week 1 announcements page, which will be located right under the introduction video as soon as I make it.